Alright, recording is live. And then, let's see. Up. Which episode is this? 27?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Why don't you search?
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
Via the power of the internet.
If I open up like Firefox or Chrome or another tab of Chrome, my computer will shit itself. So.
Is that how bad
That's
it's going right now?
It is, yeah.
Rip.
Alright, so starting in 3, 2, 1. Alright, and we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Culture of Gaming's Power Up Podcast, episode 27. This episode, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to lie. Yay. So, we are changing around the podcast format just a little bit. And you'll see the full effects of that next week. And so this week, it's going to be a little bit of a transitional period. So anyway, let's just get right into it. I am your host, Taylor, of course, and I am joined by Anthony.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. Doing great. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, what have you been playing this week?
Oh dear. Jumped into Need for Speed Shift a little bit this week. Finally managed to get it going. I was having some issues with my latest graphics card driver. So I had to change the ladder around and fix the ladder. I've also been playing some old Star Wars, so like some Jedi Knight stuff.
Okay. You've been streaming old Battlefront 2, haven't you? Quite a bit?
Yeah.
All right.
Correct. People have been thinking of this new Battlefront 2, so
okay.
that works. But apart from that, that's about it from me. Doing a lot of streaming, and I think I'm going to be doing a stream later on today as well. So
excellent. All right, so Andrew, you're of course joining us also. What have you been playing?
Yeah, not a lot lately. I went back home to my parents' house. So I got to help clean out the garage there. That was a fun time.
Nice.
Finding some old games. Other than
what
that,
did you find?
I just found like my old PS1. I cleaned out most of it not too long ago. So I took my PS2 and all that stuff. But I found an old PS1. I have no idea if it works. I opened it up and classic game Vigilante 8 was inside of it. If you're not familiar with that game, it's like a Twisted Metal ripoff. So yeah, that was really fun. A lot of Magical Drop 3 recently, which is like a puzzle game, a Neo Geo puzzle game. If you haven't played it, it's like really fun, retro, like puzzle against one another game. Check it out. It's like $8 on PS4. I was looking for Money Puzzle Exchanger, but I couldn't find it, so Magical Drop 3 had to do. That's about it.
Okay. And then our fourth seat this week rather is fourth panel seat is joined by Matt.
That's why
we're joined by Matt.
Panel.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. So what have you been playing this week? This past week.
Honestly, been busy with a lot of real life stuff. Been working a lot as of late, but mostly playing standard FPS games with most of my friends as of recent. A little bit of Eve in there every now and then.
Yeah, we've been killing some CS and Rainbow Six lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All
right. And then outside of Rainbow Six and CS, like I just mentioned, I was playing it with Matt a bit. I've been playing a bit of WoW. Battle for Azeroth, the next expansion, launches in almost less than a month. Like we're about a month away from launch, and so the current expansion, which is Legion, I've been completing like the checklist for Legion. So there's pretty much like there's only one more bit thing I have to do in Legion that I won't be able to do in Battle for Azeroth. And so that'll come together just fine, and then I'll be done. And I plan on switching main characters and classes. I could go on for like an hour, but anyway. All right, so before we get into the news, let's talk about where you can find Culture of Gaming and whatnot. So we have a Facebook community group, not only for Culture of Gaming, but also specifically for this podcast. Okay, and of course,
very nice.
Yeah, our primary way of interacting with our community is through our community Discord, which you can find a link to on the site, because we don't have a cool custom link quite yet.
And then, also down below, so if you watch
in the description of the stream.
Okay, exactly. Yeah. Also, I believe links to everything are in the bottom of the Twitch stream. So, and then past that, our main site, of course, is cultureofgaming.com, where we upload 2 articles per day, right? Or more. Sometimes it's a busy news week, you know. Or
Yeah.
and then of course you can find all the latest reviews, and we cover a wide variety of topics and everything. Our Facebook, you can find us facebook.com/culture of gaming, Twitter @cog.net, Instagram. What's our Instagram? I don't actually know that one.
We don't really have an Instagram, but that is something that we're working on. It's going to be like introduced with the Retro Rumble podcast a lot more,
All
as
right.
far as like collectible items and all that. So that's kind of still a work in progress. That one.
All right. All very
We
fitting.
need to get Snapchat.
Yeah.
Oh God. I don't know what we would put on
Snapchat,
Snapchat.
MySpace. Let's do it.
I don't know what we put.
Idea.
All right, and then
All the way.
YouTube. We don't have a cool YouTube custom link yet, but if you search "Culture of Gaming," we're the guys with the orange icon, like picture.
Yep.
And you'll be able
If you
to find
help
the
us
channel.
get to 100 subs, we're at like 80 at the moment. But
Oh,
if
man.
you help us get to 100,
If
we
you
can do
s-
a custom link.
Yeah.
If you scroll down in the description of the stream, you can actually find it with the orange logo.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
And then finally,
Beautiful.
of course, our Twitch channel where you're here right now, twitch.tv/culture of gaming. So, and then past that, one thing that we really want to try and emphasize is audience interaction, especially while we're doing live stuff like this. And that's something we feel we haven't quite been super duper clear on. So, longtime listeners of the podcast might know that we do occasionally have, community questions that the panel will talk about on the show and whatnot. And those are primarily prepared for, or it's like beforehand and whatnot. But we want to bring up that pretty much anywhere where we can chat with you guys, even during the middle of the show, if you want to ask a question for us to bring up later or into the discussion right now, feel free to drop it anywhere. Twitch chat will be the primary way to get it, but past that, the podcast questions channel in our community Discord is a great place. And then if you leave a comment in our Facebook community group, somebody will grab that also and bring it into the show. And if you ask us something, whether it's before the latest airing episode or during the airing episode, you get entered into one of our monthly giveaways. And this month we are giving away Ori and the Blind Forest for Spots, correct?
Yeah, which
Alright.
is happening after this, so not after, but at the end of this podcast. So if you're watching, get some questions in or just interact with us and you'll have an entry into it.
Yeah.
What if I don't have an Xbox?
Oh, don't answer.
I don't-
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know what to say then.
Rip.
Yeah.
Right,
Anyway.
yeah.
So yeah, we just want you guys to know that we are super open to you guys asking questions and interacting with us as much as possible as we're doing the live show and even out of the show too. I believe we're all a part of the community Discord, so hit us up
Oh, yeah.
on there. We're all labeled as staff members. So yeah, and then Nerd Awakens, thank you very much for the YouTube sub up to 81. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
81, yay.
All right, so
Almost there.
I think that about plugs everything. I think, yeah, and then Retro Rumble. What's going on with that?
That's tomorrow at 12 Pacific Standard Time.
All right.
We'll be doing our retro podcast. I'll be on there, blabbing about old games.
All right. John be on
as
there
well
also.
as- I believe Mike will be on there, and I don't think John will be on this week. I think he had something to do. But Mike and Ethan, I will believe, will be
Yep.
on it.
Awesome, and that is of course hosted by our very own David White, who I saw in our Discord earlier picked up a really neat copy of what was it, like Pokemon
Blue, yeah.
Blue? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. He had to climb a mountain to get it. So
Apparently.
yeah.
That's how it works over in England or
Yeah.
Wales.
The Brits are
wherever he is.
crazy. We declared independence for a reason, you know.
USA.
USA. All right. So, gaming news. We have 4 topics lined up for you guys today, and the first one is We Happy Few has been reclassified in Australia as R18+.
Finally.
Yes.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm actually really excited that it's rated that because it allows it to go more into the psychotic nature that it seems to present.
All right.
I just don't get why they weren't going to classify it in the first place. I mean, they've got board games over here where like cocaine's consumable as like a power up in the board game.
Like they give you a little packet of cocaine in the box.
As great as that would be,
It's one
Not
expensive
quite.
board game.
Yeah, I reckon.
little kick in your step.
Yep.
Yeah. So the reason why I think that it's been, or it was, denied classification was because it was going against what the government wanted.
Oh,
basically.
okay.
So it's like, oh, don't rebel against the government. That's bad. So it's being dragged through courts and everything, and it's finally gotten through as classification, which is awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So Matt, you brought up kind of a point in there about it'll allow them to go a little bit more insane. Don't you think they might be, or Andrew, don't you think they might be kind of on a fine edge by this point, in the sense of, we covered the topic on an earlier episode of Power Up about how it was hard enough getting like the Australian government just straight up didn't want to classify it because of how bad it could have been, and so Matt brought up the point of, well, okay, so they've agreed to classify it, which will allow them to go like maybe more overboard or whatever. Do you think if they go any more overboard, the Australian government could rescind the classification?
Can they do that?
I figured.
I imagine they can.
Yeah, if it's an unreleased product, I'd figure.
I think Australia seems to figure it out and not have the government involved in all their video games, right? I mean, that's kind of the issue in the first place.
Government's involved in everything over here.
It's
No matter what it is,
yeah.
they're involved some way or
I
another.
mean, not that the ESRB is like fantastic or anything, but
At least they're like reasonable.
yeah, they're not. I mean-
they're okay. Yeah,
Well, I mean, we don't hear a lot about them because usually people don't. They
don't
probably
really care anymore.
They don't announce it publicly, like, "Oh, this was an AO game," or
Yeah.
Mm.
I feel like the guy at GameStop, like, letting the mom of the 12-year-old know that Call of Duty is rated, like, M for blood and gore and strong language, or just blood, rather, and strong language, is doing more than the ESRB does in terms of, like, spreading awareness about the content in games.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, people working at those stores are, like, kids. So, like, even,
16-year-olds.
yeah, people who probably can't even buy those games on their... No, I guess they kind of have to, right?
Mhm.
But, like... I don't know. Like if I was working there, obviously I would let them know. Like, and it's I guess it's the law, right? Technically, like you can't buy it unless you're 16. Is it 16?
No,
or
it's
18?
18 for M.
18.
It's 18, right? Yeah, yeah.
Actually, no, I was able to buy an M game when I was 17.
Was it
but
when
that
you had the mun chops?
Huh?
Well,
I got ID'd.
here.
I got ID'd anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they
Well,
were okay
it's-
with it. Because M is
So
technically
over
17
here-
plus. M is technically 17
over
plus.
here it's really strange. So we've got G, PG,
Yeah.
M, which is like 12, 13,
Okay.
MA 15 plus, or
Okay.
no, sorry, M 15 plus, MA 15 plus, and then R 18 plus.
Okay.
Hmm.
So basically, 90%, like 90% of like Battlefields and Call of Duties and everything are MAs usually. Back in the old days, it used to be PG and M, which is insane.
Yeah.
So basically, you've just got to be over 15 or 15 to buy a game here. That's a bit dodgy.
Okay.
So it's an interesting situation, and only about 4 years ago we introduced R, because the first game to introduce R was Saints Row 4.
All right.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, Nerd Awakens brought that up in Twitch chat here. So what was the Saints Row 4 incident?
That was that gun, which I'm not going to go into detail about.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does R stand for?
Restricted.
Okay.
It's
18
like
plus.
the
What's
MPAA rating we have over here for our
Like
movies.
the,
Yeah,
oh,
restricted.
the AO or
what does M stand for then?
Mature.
Mature.
Yeah.
Okay.
sure.
So it's like the way that works over here in the States, the ESRB, our game rating stuff, is so they have they have a C rating, which is like ages 3 and up. Okay. I think Mario Typing Travels was like rated C, and that's the only game I didn't think of. All right.
Well,
I
we've
don't know
got
of a single one.
Okay, there's
got
rated
A.
E. There's rated E, which is like ages 5 and up. There's E10, which is
Yeah.
everyone 10 and up. And then it jumps to T for teen, which is 13 here, and then it goes to
Yeah.
M for 17, and
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
I've
AO.
only ever seen like one game ever rated AO, and which is obviously 18 and up, and that's that was Leisure Suite Larry.
Did it actually release an AO? Because usually most games
Yeah,
do
it
something
did.
about it. Oh, okay. Because I know, like, what was it? San Andreas got changed to AO when the whole hot coffee thing came out.
Oh yeah.
So then they had to like patch it out, basically, or delete the code of that so they could release it as an M product and not an
Yeah.
AO product.
Yeah.
And I want to say Manhunt 2 also at one point got an AO rating.
Yeah, although those are all like fairly old games, as Nerd Awakens brings up in the chat, AO is barely used nowadays. Only one game was rated AO this decade.
What was
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious as to what that game
If
was.
you know what it is,
Good
let us
question.
know.
Yeah, just
This
bring it up.
decade?
And it's like, I feel like the M rating has really gotten stretched a little bit. Also, to the sense of like, yeah,
Hatred.
no idea what the
Hatred.
game is. All right.
Oh, that's the
Oh.
game where it's like a top-down shooter where it's black and white, and the guy's just going on a
He
rampage.
literally just goes on a killing spree.
Yeah.
Isn't that like Hotline Miami? But Hotline Miami is like rated M.
No, it's.
I think.
But see, here's the difference. Hotline Miami apparently has a story. Hatred is just a dude going around killing people.
Okay.
Or the story
Miami,
is that
yeah.
he's like was depressed and going on like a shooting spree or
Okay,
something.
what
Like that.
what's Postal about then?
Postal
Anyway.
is
Yeah.
Like, okay.
going postal. It's similar,
Okay.
but it's also very cheesy and silly.
Okay.
That game.
And then I kind of hesitated to say slightly related, but I do kind of get the feeling, at least for PC games, the whole like ESRB rating is going to go out the window, considering Steam is now allowing any sort of game on Steam now,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool to see. Honestly, I like that they're going that direction. I like that they're going back.
All the
that direction.
junkware.
Yeah,
There's so much garbage though. Yeah, it
yeah.
needs a little bit of
Like
regulation.
that. Raspberries points out if online interactions were rated, then all games would be AO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what
this
times
is
I've done
true.
like I remember like on Xbox or whatever playing like Lego and rented like Lego Star Wars or
did.
whatever on Xbox and it's like online and just like people just horrible
Oh,
mouth playing
yeah.
this like E for everyone game, right? It's like, oh my god. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So moving right along. Daddy Todd Howard, one of my favorite game developers ever. So Daddy Todd did an interview where he basically soft confirmed Fallout 5. Okay, like he didn't deny its existence or in productionness sort of thing. He also states that not all Bethesda games will be multiplayer in the future because a lot of people were being concerned that Fallout 76 could mark like a new trend among Bethesda game development and everything. And he was like, no, Fallout 76 is kind of like a big experiment where we've never really done anything like this before. Technically, ESO is ZeniMax and not really Bethesda. So it's like we are really experimenting with Fallout 76. And he also he seemed really bothered by the meme that Bethesda has been using the same engine for the past 10 years or whatever. He said, so it's like the engine that people still think we all use is called Gamebryo, but like to be honest, we've changed so much of the core and like all the different modules that go into Gamebryo that it really can't even be called Gamebryo. Like it's a completely new rendering engine and whatnot, etc., from when it was first used in Morrowind. So he said, I don't know why people think we're still on the same engine.
So you're telling me everything after Morrowind is just a mod of Morrowind?
Anything after Daggerfall, really. Or it's like Daggerfall onward.
They've been playing us all along.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. So what do we think about some of these statements? Andrew, let's start with you.
I mean, yeah, like I didn't think that Fallout 5 wasn't gonna exist. I mean, it's obvious that game is coming eventually. When, who knows? Like it's coming. It's not whatever. Fallout 76 is interesting. I'm actually really curious to see how it shakes out. As far as the whole engine thing goes, it's like Call of Duty used the same engine for years, and it's probably still on the same engine. I think. I don't actually know.
Yeah, it's like the Anvil engine, I think.
Yeah, and like of course they do. They're working on it for a decade. Of course, it's not literally the same thing, but like the base is similar, right? So like you're kind of limited by some tech, like obviously, like of how like characters like move and animate a little bit, right? Like details can get changed pretty easily, but a lot of this like animations still looks the same if you look at like how the characters run in Skyrim and then look at Fallout 4. It's all similar-ish. Yeah. Hopefully, I don't remember all the points he made, but yeah.
All right, Matt, what do you think? All these kind of point statements, whatnot.
I mean, Fallout 5 is fairly obvious. It's coming sooner or later. It's in development. It's in the back of somebody's closet with sketches. As for Fallout 76, I do believe that the layout for Fallout can lend itself very well to an online player setting. We'll just have to see how it goes. And I don't mind them experimenting. I'm all for game developers experimenting and try to find a new formula for something. If they take what this produces from 76 and applies it to, like, let's say a new IP, all for it.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm a huge fan of new game engines. I'm a huge fan of new tech in general. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what they pump out there.
Yeah. All right, Anthony, what do you think?
Um,
I know you're
I
not
mean,
really a huge
it's-
online guy, and you're not really
Nah,
that big of
but
a Fallout fan either.
yeah, well, no, I played 3 New Vegas and Fallout 4. So,
Okay. Which
I
one's your
didn't really-
favorite?
probably 3 so far, I would say.
Good choice.
Because that's probably the one that I've spent the most time with. So,
Okay.
like, I played New Vegas and then spent like a couple of hours with it, and then moved on to something else. So I kept getting drawn back to like Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, I mean, as far as the whole engine change situation, we've definitely seen an improvement, but I don't think that it's been a whole new engine. Like, I don't know. I think it's just been like mods put on top of it.
Yeah.
And as far as the whole online thing, I think that it's good that they're not just going flat out online and every game from now on is going to have an online element kind of thing. So at least they're going to still give people like your Elder Scrolls single player experience, your Fallout 5. So maybe I think even if they did like a single player multiplayer kind of alternated it, that'd be a pretty cool idea as well. But yeah, it just depends on what resources they have, and once they've got this framework in place, and they can kind of do anything they want with multiplayer, which is awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Mm.
So, I think the one point I do really want to touch on is the whole like engine part or whatever. And
Yep.
it's like I think when people kind of, I'm not using anyone here of that, but when people meme about Bethesda using the same engine for like 10 years, whatever, I don't think that's quite technically correct, because to them, how they know how everything functions internally and everything, we know that past Fallout 3, actually, the point I want to make before this is if you ever want to mod a Bethesda game or whatever, they have a creation kit or whatever, and that's actually the tool they use like in-house to develop games and like put levels into their games and whatnot. And so it's like, have you ever played around with the creation kit for like Skyrim or whatever? That's literally what they use at Bethesda to make games. Okay? And so Morrowind was famous for using the Gamebryo engine, right? And then past Morrowind, there was Fallout 3, which was the first, and the reason why from Morrowind to Fallout 3 took so long was because they were developing this sort of creation tool and everything to use. And so internally, I'm sure they consider like a new engine because it's called the creation engine or whatever, based on the tool they developed for it. But it's more or less just like a tool used to mod Gamebryo outside of whatever like rendering stuff. So maybe that's where he's coming from on it, but it's like I find it really hard to, it's really hard to deny the fact that it's more or less the same engine, So that's just the point I want to make. We should probably move on here. Our next thing is, so the Smash Brothers amiibo fighters are getting refreshed, and we're getting brand new ones for Smash Brothers Ultimate. I'm excited.
Cool.
I love amiibos.
Like brand new ones of the same characters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they're gonna have like different ones for each, because they're gonna have, I suppose you can't really have different skins, but they're gonna have like the main characters and the Shadow Fighters as well, or
Maybe. We don't really know like a full like roster list of details or whatever, but I think some dev got asked basically whether or not we'll see like some of the old fighters like coming back or whatever in amiibo form. And basically he was like, yeah, they're getting refreshed, and we're also gonna have new amiibos for Smash Brothers Ultimate.
You telling me we getting a Snake amiibo?
I am telling you that we are in fact getting a Snake amiibo.
And a Ridley amiibo?
And a Ridley.
what about a Waluigi amiibo?
They have one already.
Not
Do
happening.
they?
Yeah, there's already a Waluigi amiibo.
Yeah.
Do people still buy those things?
They're really hard to find.
Really? They are hard to find?
Wait, like the Smash amiibos?
Just any amiibo. Like,
Oh yeah, they're super popular.
Yeah, it's like the Smash amiibos are really hard to find, but like the latest ones aren't too bad.
Okay.
I've still yet
Okay.
to find any Samus Returns amiibos, which kind of bums me out, but whatever.
Those were like a limited run too.
Yeah.
They are like, you could probably you'd have to buy them on eBay. You're not gonna find them in a
Yeah.
store anymore.
Do some scalper stuff.
Yeah.
Fishy Metro.
Yeah. I remember at launch, it's like picking up pretty much all of the Breath of the Wild amiibos except for the Mobkin or the Moblin or whatever. It's like
Yeah, the Bokoblin.
the Bokoblin. Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah.
I remember going to EB and being like, gee, I don't have a Switch and I don't have Breath of the Wild, but these look so good. I should
Yeah.
get a couple of them.
They did
I
a
never did.
really nice job with the Breath of the Wild amiibos.
Yeah, they did. They
So-
looked awesome.
How do we like amiibos in general? Andrew, you seem kind of disgusted
On
by
fence.
them.
Okay, like I don't like people. I don't like collecting too much of these, like Funkos or
Gimmicky,
stuff like that.
Okay.
I may or may not have a friend who's very into them, and now I have some everywhere in my room. Cannot see right now.
All right.
He's not proud of them.
No, they're fine. Like,
I feel ashamed for what I've done.
Yeah.
Amiibos in particular are just so weird to me because I understand like you like to have little like figures of the stuff you like, that's
Yeah.
cool. But they do so little in game, and it just what like I don't understand why people get so into them. Like, oh, I need to have this amiibo, and like in Breath of the Wild, you scan it and fish come flying down, or like whatever. Like I don't know, man. Like as a gameplay element, I really dislike them.
Okay.
As like a little collectible, I think they're totally cool.
Yeah.
But just for whatever reason, I don't know why. To just make little toys. Don't even make
Just make
weird
them-
amiibos.
just-
Well, it's an official Nintendo product presenting
Right.
official Nintendo characters. It's gonna sell.
Yeah,
Can we talk
that's true.
about the
Yeah,
fact that
either way.
Solaire is now an official Nintendo character,
yeah.
technically. Yeah.
Nintendo kind of ripped off the whole Skylanders situation, didn't they? Or was Amiibos around before then?
No, they were definitely after.
Yeah. Nerd
Yeah.
Awakens brings up that
Yeah.
same point. Remember Skylanders? It's like
That was even
Yeah.
Those are
worse.
still really popular.
It's like, yeah, that's worse.
Right.
My nephews are really into Skylanders, in terms of like games and whatnot. But it's like those are like crucial to gameplay, aren't they? And like you need like a
Yeah.
giant like portal thing or whatever.
Yeah.
They are the actual it's like the equivalent of having I'd say like a Pokemon.
Oh,
It's like a
okay.
DLC.
You need to put it into the situation itself,
Wow.
like the
It's almost like DLC. Like you're buying
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
like
character.
physical.
But you
content.
need certain characters to get past certain areas, so they kind
Oh.
of lock it. So I was saying,
What?
oh great, I've got to go to Kmart and get
Oh,
two of
what?
this or one of
That
those.
was
or
like,
whatever.
yeah, that's like the Disney Infinity stuff, where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you needed an Incredibles character, I don't know, to get to the Incredibles zone or whatever. So you buy
Yeah.
the Incredibles pack, which is a good idea, I think. That way, like, sort of like locking off content, like as long as it's fairly priced. Like, oh, it's $10, you get these 3 little figures, and then you get more of the
Red
game.
Spyro design.
So I don't think it's
Spyro design.
I don't know. I don't think that the way like Disney Infinity did it was bad. I just think the amiibos are just so poorly implemented in any game they're in. Like, there's no good like amiibo support.
You see, like I think
I would-
they're designed more as like a collectible first, though. That's the thing.
I would agree to that.
Because
Possibly,
like,
yeah.
it's very cheap and it's very easy to do NFC nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how
I-
amiibos work. So
I mean,
I don't know. Go ahead.
The,
Yeah, Matt,
the
go ahead.
best implementation I've seen is with Smash Brothers, where you put the amiibo and it actually fights when
Sure.
they first came out. But to me, they are a collectible first. As yes, it's an official Nintendo product representing an official Nintendo character.
Yeah.
Just that its alone will sell. And I mean, I'd buy that for $15, easy. I
Okay.
think
that they have $15.
yeah, they're like $15. They're like 10,
Yeah.
15 bucks.
they're like 12 to 15.
Yeah,
But,
depends.
I don't see the game purpose as much as a feature as much as it is like, hey, you bought our product, we're giving you a little bit extra.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
it's just a little bonus in my opinion. It's not the main feature.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fair way of looking at it. I think I'm
Yeah.
kind of a similar mindset. Do you guys remember the satirical article that was published a few years back about how Call of Duty was looking at implementing like a Skylander system, so like you could go and like load bullets into the portal to like
Nice.
give you more ammo in multiplayer or whatever?
Oh dear.
God.
Yeah,
What could you use like real ammo?
yeah, exactly. It's like you
It's
could literally
like,
go to an
yeah,
ammo store,
right.
pick up some 7.62 rounds, and reload your AK in game with them. If
God.
you ever ran out of ammo and need them in a pinch or whatever.
But
Yeah,
you need to like
Yeah.
reload it into the plug-in magazine.
yeah, exactly.
That'd be pretty funny.
All right, so Anthony, do you like collectibles at all? Amiibos, stuff like that?
Yeah, I love the idea,
All right.
but I never really got into it. Didn't really have the space for it.
That's fair.
So Like I collected a couple of like pop figures and whatnot.
The pop finals.
Yeah,
Okay.
pop vinyls. That didn't really get into it. I'm a massive comic person, so
Okay.
I love
Okay.
comics and superhero stuff and all that. So
That's pretty cool.
I suppose you could say the urge is there, but I haven't gotten into it.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
it. But anyway.
Like I only have like 1 or 2, so
Yeah.
As much as I do really appreciate like digital delivery nowadays and whatnot, I definitely think there is a bit of a trend in the sense of people wanting to have something physical related to what they like when everything is such a digital delivery
Yeah,
now. Like for
Yeah.
example,
I missed the whole physical thing, like going to a
Yeah.
store and picking up a game and
like having the library on a shelf.
Yeah.
exactly.
Like it's you could see your collection grow
Yeah.
and all that.
And
Look
it's just
at me,
like-
I'm so good. I've got all these.
and it's like with like WoW and StarCraft and like Diablo and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like I have the boxes for all those like games and everything and whatnot. Like I will get the physical copy of the game. I won't install it off disk. I don't even have my disk drive in my PC anymore. I'll just download it, right? But it's still just like a
Idea.
box to represent what I liked and what I got and everything
Sure.
and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, or it's like some of the animes that I like and whatnot. It's like I will buy the Blu-rays for, even though
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's like just on Crunchyroll, just because it's like one, support the studio, and just kind of it's some of the
Yeah.
bonuses with the like collector's editions are cool also. But yeah.
I
That's
do
kind
have
of-
one amiibo though.
Oh, okay. What is it?
What amiibo?
The pink yarn Yoshi.
Those
he's
are
so
Yes.
we
cute.
have yeah, one of Matt and I's friends got one from Japan actually.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
I wanted to get the really
They-
big one at one point, but then I was like, no, I don't need.
Oh
this
god,
gigantic-
that's so
Yeah.
expensive.
I will not
Yeah.
buy the body pillow, thank you.
Went on, yeah, she went on a summer trip to Japan for a study abroad program, and she picked up me a Marth amiibo because I made Marth in Smash, and she also got a Yarn Yoshi amiibo.
Oh,
Nice.
it was Young Yoshi.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. And yeah.
the thing is the pink Yarn Yoshi.
With the whole collectible situation, I'm kind of like that with books as well.
Yeah.
Like, I absolutely hate reading online. I will prefer to wait like 2 weeks to get a
Same.
book from the UK or America and then
Okay.
read it.
Physical book is just amazing.
But then it's so
Yeah.
bad. Like, I want to read the whole Star Wars series. Online, they're like $8 because it's like coming from an American server or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're super cheap.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Buying them
No.
physically, they're like 36 or something. So it's just like, oh, I've got to read them online. Darn it.
yeah, I'm the same thing. I want to read like the entire like Magic the Gathering series of books,
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
but I want the physical copies,
Yeah.
and they're like damn near impossible to find.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I could never get into like Kindle books or like audiobooks. I have tried a couple audiobooks. My experience has been decent, but like I still prefer, the physical media in that sense.
Hmm.
All right. So, any last collectible vices or whatever? I know my current vice is anime figures.
I saw these really cool Cuphead figures that I'm like so tempted to like. They're terrible because they're the blind box ones,
Oh yeah.
but like they have all the bosses in there and stuff. I'm
Oh,
like,
that's really cool. That's really cool.
I'm
Oh,
like
man.
tempted to buy some of those things. But then if I get a bunch of the same one, I'd be so pissed.
Yeah.
I don't collect as much figurines as much. I collect other things like playing cards.
All right.
Mm, okay.
Cool. All right, Anthony, you said comic books, actual books. Anything else you like to?
Yeah, not really. No, I don't really
Okay.
have any like collectible stuff. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because I've been like wasn't really introduced to the whole gaming and
You
movies
collect
and all that
comic books,
until
don't
later
you?
on.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, here and there where I can. I've been doing Marvel Fact Files, so I've got like 8 binders of them full.
I'd say that'd be a collectible for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been going for a couple of years, so it's still growing and still need to. I'm like 200 issues behind, which is a bit
Ooh.
problematic.
Ooh.
Um,
That's always
We
like
gotta
put me off
move.
with comic books. It's just like, wow, I want
When
to
does it
start
stop?
collecting comic books. All right, there are 200 issues to start you off. Oh.
Right. where do we want to go first?
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. But apart from that, I don't really collect that much stuff.
All right. Yeah. It's like I started really liking like figures and everything. It's like back when I played Magic in high school. It's like the Funko
Yeah.
Pops of like Magic were cool. I still have them on my desk. Yeah. And then
Yeah,
and then it's like Amiibo, when I got into that whole thing or whatever.
One of these low pop finals.
Yeah, they're really well done for Magic. And then Amiibo, and now, as I mentioned earlier, anime figures, which kind of sucks because they're really expensive each.
But you have to admit, they're like
They are
supremely
super
well
detailed.
designed.
Yeah, they're super well detailed. Anyway, all right. So that's all of our collectible vices. All
Yeah.
right. So this is a bit of a follow-up topic from last week. We talked about one of the lead designers from EA leaving her position. And in a secondary interview that she did, she has confirmed that Visceral's Star Wars game has officially been shelved. We also covered previously on the podcast that, EA kind of absorbed Visceral into their own studio and whatnot.
Yeah.
And we're retooling Star Wars. And then last week we covered that lady, I've completely forget her name, leaving and whatnot.
Amy Hennig.
Yeah, Amy Hennig. Thank you.
Hennig.
Thank you.
That's why.
And yeah, she said now that it has officially been shelved, and that's the reason why she left.
No.
So currently, the only Star Wars game that we know of that's in production at EA is Respawn Entertainment's.
Mm-hmm.
So, are
Well,
we...
that blows.
All right.
Oh,
I mean, that basically sums it.
Yeah, that basically sums it up, right?
yeah.
If we were to
That's
get
a
like a
shame.
really... What's up?
That's a shame. I want another Star Wars game, but I don't want a Battlefront.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure the Respawn one will be super duper different.
I'm starting a Kickstarter campaign to redo the Visceral Star Wars game that never came out. You can donate to my Kickstarter there. We'll get the rights whenever, and
Yeah,
I
whenever,
have
you know.
rights.
Once the money's there, we'll
Don't
get
worry,
it.
guys.
Yeah, we'll get it.
yeah.
We'll get it. All right.
So-
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll just
Remaking
take
that
off
game.
and have
Don't
a-
worry. We're getting Amy Hennig originally to work on it. Don't worry about it.
Excellent, excellent. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think you would get even more backers if you said we want to revive 1313.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just gotta bring
You
that
get
one
even
up.
more backers if you say you'll make a Jar Jar game.
Nerd Awakens wants a Jar Jar game. He'll be a backer. That's right.
Ah, yeah.
No. Yeah.
Jar Jar.
Soft confirmed, boys. Soft confirmed.
No.
Who should we get for the voice actor?
Dan DeVito.
Yeah.
It's my answer for everything.
No,
So,
dude.
Just Danny.
Well-
we need a voice actor. Danny DeVito.
We
What?
get Yoda. We model Yoda. We get Danny DeVito to do Yoda.
it's a one-man show, Dan DeVito.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, everyone is voiced by Danny DeVito.
Perfect.
He can do it all.
I'd play it.
Yeah, I'd play it. All right, so we don't know much about the Respawn game. We did know a little bit about Visceral's. We know that was going to be primarily online focused and kind of like it was going to really embrace the games as a service trend that EA really like to do, as we're going to see with like Anthem and whatnot. So to me, that kind of, I'm actually not too surprised that they shelved it. Someone can probably go back and look at the old episode, and I might have mentioned this also. It's like I really don't see EA wanting to have like games as a service competing with each other, like
Sure.
in like as a studio or as a publisher itself. So that kind of means that their whole
Game
basket
studio.
or like all their eggs are in the basket of Anthem, so to speak, for
Mhm.
like a game primarily. Which,
To me, let's just give people a option. Don't just say, "Hey, here's one game, great."
okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. The more I think about this, it makes sense it got shelved. Like, I don't know if you guys read that whole leak about what that game was supposed to be.
Yeah.
About like it was supposed to be like a bounty hunter game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, there's like this whole like you're like a band of thieves or whatever, bounty hunters. I can't remember exactly, but that leak came out I think earlier this year. It makes sense that when she probably left the studio and her team or whoever, that kind of information got out, and
Yeah.
and then they were like, "Oh, it's gonna be online now," and then they canceled it, I guess.
Did any of you play Star Wars Bounty Hunter?
Oh,
The
the old
original one?
GameCube one? Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hated it. To be
It was kind of fun, like jetpacking around and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, it was great. I loved it.
Okay. I
But
found it really awkward.
Oh,
It's on PS4 now, actually. If you
is it
I-
really?
yeah.
yeah, it came out on PS4. You can relook at it. And the
You're
people,
sitting here like, what are these people doing like, with their lives? Like Anthony's regretting everything right now.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh dear.
Yeah.
Bye.
And outside of the little impromptu interview that Vince Zampella gave at E3, we really don't know what Respawn's Star Wars game is going to be like.
Yeah.
It'll probably be
It'd be
cool
nice
if
if it's
Titanfall
a
is an
story-driven
adaptation.
game.
Yeah.
story-driven game.
If
feel
Titanfall's
like-
any indication, it'll be really cool.
I think the
Yeah.
main reason
Yeah,
why
that'd be
they forced them to shelf it is because, I mean, you have Anthem, from what it looks like, could be a service game itself. So
Yeah,
you don't want to necessarily have two games competing against each other.
yeah.
I mean, ideally, you can make them release at different times, but who knows?
Well, the thing is, it's like the games as a service thing. They need to be like they need to have serious longevity. Like,
Yeah.
Ubisoft is super committed to like Rainbow Six as a games as a service type thing, saying that they want to support it for about 10 years.
Yeah.
Which, wow, that's gonna be interesting to think about.
Where
Yeah.
the amount of operators are going to be in is absolutely insane.
Yeah. Nerd Awakens brings up in the chat, since Disney bought Lucasfilm, I feel like that they're rushing so many Star Wars projects at once. That's a really fair thing.
Yes.
Yeah. It seems
I
like
would
Disney
absolutely-
is overwhelming with Star Wars.
They're milking
They're
that
doing
cow.
like 2 a year, aren't they? At this stage, because they did Solo and they did the one previously, which was like.
So,
Are you
like,
talking about-
Yeah.
Are you talking about movies or games? Or
I'd
products
say-
in general?
Wow.
I think movies.
I think Nerd Awakens is talking about both, like
Yeah.
everything Star Wars related.
Yeah, they're definitely doing one movie per year.
Yeah,
Um,
I think. Yeah, it's like I think
both, okay.
Solo
But-
kind of got screwed over, in the sense. So it was supposed to
Yeah.
release in December, but I forget what. I think it might be Avatar 2, and Disney didn't want to have Solo compete with Avatar 2 in December, so they pushed it.
Yeah.
That
I
could.
didn't see that movie.
Huh?
I didn't see that movie.
Oh,
If it-
Wait, is Avatar 2 out?
no, not yet.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought.
So they pushed it forward, not back. So they like didn't delay it. They kind of cut a couple of months off.
Avatar
correct?
2 doesn't come out till 2020. Okay, then maybe it's not. But I
Ah,
forget
okay.
what big release Disney
Rip.
has this December also. But it's like I remember.
Ah,
like,
it might be Avengers.
no,
Avengers 2.
I
No.
don't think so. That's gonna be.
No. Okay.
That's still. Like
Ant-Man.
a
No,
year or
that's
so.
already out.
Obviously, they didn't want it competing with Incredibles 2. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then it's
Alright.
like so they put it's like, it's like Disney effectively Titanfall 2'd Solo, to be honest, in the sense
Yeah.
of they released it in between stuff, and it's like they released it between like, I know Infinity War came out. They released it between like Infinity War and what was the other thing that came out in June also, or May or June.
Yeah. I'm gonna
I
say
have no
Avengers again. Wasn't
Okay.
it Avengers? Wasn't that May?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
it was.
but that
May.
was the first thing I said. Anyway. Yeah, we're
Deadpool 2.
2. That's it.
Yeah.
Ah,
that would be
Deadpool
it.
2.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
okay. Thank you,
Sure.
chat. Thank you. So it's like, yeah, they effectively Titanfall 2'd Solo, which I mean, if you look at similar like performance and everything, you know, it kind of lines up well.
They definitely did.
Yeah. Anyway, and for those of you who don't know, Titanfall 2 released between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty.
You know, dead facts.
I know, man.
Which is a shame. Honestly, it wasn't necessarily a solo story, but it was still a good film, in my opinion. It was a good story.
It was
I mean,
good.
it wasn't overly complicated for the most part, and it tickled all the fantasies I had.
Yeah. I liked it. It doesn't have
Yeah,
as much
I enjoyed it.
rewatchability as Rogue One does for me, but other than that, it's like, yeah, it's good.
Cool.
It's
Yeah.
just a good Star Wars film.
Yeah, really. All right, so let's shift it back to gaming. How do we? What do you think the timeline is
That's fun.
for Respawn's Star Wars film? What do we think the time is for a Respawn Star Wars film?
I mean,
I'm
Star
thinking
Wars
2020.
game.
to be
I'm
honest.
sorry, Star Wars game. Yeah, thank you.
Never.
Never. Okay.
Never.
Probably like next gen.
Really? You think you'll be like?
We haven't
Yeah.
even. I mean, like it's.
I
fair-
could see it being next gen. I
It
mean,
sounds like- not even close to.
we know nothing,
Yeah.
so it could be next gen for all we know.
Okay.
2020 if it was a world
PS5
story.
confirmed.
Yeah.
PS6 and Xbox 3. I like it. All right.
Yes.
And PC
And
2.
PC too.
Yeah, the greatest,
Yeah.
the greatest console of them
PC2.
all, right? All right. So
It's
I
so
think
great, why haven't they
I
done
think
a
that about wraps
second?
up to gaming news, and so this is another sort of transition thing. Okay, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, we are kind of shifting the podcast format, but there is also a major site redesign about to happen to COG and whatnot.
Yep.
And with that site redesign, we're gonna want to shift. We're gonna want to kind of stick our feet into the pool of some movie news and some anime news. And so we have to kind of like begin to get your palates wet for that sort of stuff. Okay. We do
Dipping our
have
toes in.
Yeah, we do have a movie news topic lined up, as well as an anime news topic lined up. So our movie news is John Wick 3. Anybody fan of John Wick here?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right, yeah,
Love
great set of movies. All right, has the subtitle of Parabellum, and the rumor mill goes wild. So what the hell does Parabellum even mean?
It's like a semi-automatic pistol or machine gun.
Excellent. All right.
It's a cool
A type
sounding
of semi-automatic
It's a cool-
pistol or machine gun.
Cool
yeah.
sounding word.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like where I am.
That's really, I mean, it's gun related, so there you go. That's
Yeah.
Well,
enough.
is it called John Wick 3 and then, or is it just John Wick Parabellum?
I think
Like,
it's
you
like
know.
John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, or something like that.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
wondering if they're still doing the chapters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the second one, but I'm a huge fan of the first movie.
Okay.
First was good. Does the second one have a word attached to it?
I forget.
know.
No, this is John Wick 2.
That's what I thought. It was like chapter 2, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
if it-
Okay.
Weird. Okay, I don't know.
So anyway, that's causing a lot of people to like speculate and whatnot.
It's-
What do we think this
Chapter 2.
means for? And what's up, Matt?
It's just called John Wick Chapter 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thank you. John Wick is my favorite Fortnite
Thank you.
character.
Yeah,
Yeah, didn't they
damn it.
add like a model after him or whatever?
Yes.
Sorta,
and-
yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Okay.
In one of the seasons, as the ultimate, if you get to level or tier 100 for the battle pass,
Yeah.
you get a quote-unquote John Wick skin.
It's like the Reaper or something like the Reaper.
Yeah, it's called like the Reaper or something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
It's got like the broken nose and everything.
All right.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Honestly, it's a pretty good model.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, what are we expecting for John Wick 3 based on this subtitle? Anything? Lots of like pistol action, probably again.
Apparently.
Probably, yeah.
More
Yeah.
pistol stuff.
Okay.
I love the fight choreography in the
Very
the
good.
first
Yeah.
movie. It was amazing. Apparently, in the first movie, you know how like most movies will overgo with how many bullets they put into
Mhm.
like the guns and the magazines and whatnot.
Yeah.
There was only one instance in John Wick, the Chapter 1, where they went over the amount of bullets that would be in the pistol just by one bullet.
Oh, that seems
Yeah.
like
Fortunate.
like a really easy like typo mistake
Yeah.
almost.
Everything else was pitch perfect calculations.
And then also in the
Nice.
fight scenes, one thing that's really noticeable is that all the fight scenes are like one shot.
They're super smooth.
Yeah, it's like there's really no like cuts or anything.
Who knows what Parabellum means?
It's a semi-automatic pistol or machine gun.
No, incorrect.
Okay, there's another
Prepare
definition.
for war.
Prepare
what it
for
means.
war.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like a different language or something?
It's Latin, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Latin for prepare for war.
Interesting.
All right.
So there you go, prepare for war.
All right. So maybe larger
War
scale
III.
action.
Doctors,
than what-
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe large scale action for John Wick 3 then. Maybe that's something that implies.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that's a reasonable
that's a good assumption.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the second one is about, so I have no idea where they're going with it.
All right.
You might get a new car.
I'm just happy that Keanu Reeves is getting some work.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Guy's super cool
Yeah.
from what I've heard, like off screen and stuff. So
Yeah.
glad that's happening.
All right. So, anything else about John Wick 3?
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yep, definitely.
And then anime news. All right, so a little bit of a story behind this one, right? So when Anthony was talking to me in the wee hours of the morning this morning, we're talking like 2,
Like I
like
do that.
it's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. my time, right? About like redoing the podcast format a little bit. It's like when we wanted to incorporate this in, it's like I slightly brought up the point that it's like, oh, it's like anime news, great idea and everything. There's quite a few things happening in the anime world right now. The summer season just started. Anime
yeah.
Expo is going on, so there's of course a ton of like news like coming out of that and whatnot right now. And
Yep.
so it was hard to pick just like one topic. But the one that we did eventually, or I did eventually settle on, was because it is gaming related heavily, is Ace Attorney has gotten a second season for its anime series and will be premiering on October 6th, which is right at the start of the fall season. And yeah, the Ace Attorney anime is bad. That's all I have to say.
Who's
Is
seen
it bad?
It's really bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love the game so much, but the series is really bad. But
Like,
it-
I
what,
watched-
what about it is bad?
I watched 10 minutes of it this morning. Where do you start? Everything's like overdone.
Is
Was
that
the
the
game like
game?
overdone in general?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
I don't
like,
think that's a fair criticism.
Yes.
I
It's like
think
yelling
it's-
objection. Just I don't know.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
No, but all. I don't know.
Wait, what came
You're
first?
the expert.
the
The
games
games.
came first.
Games. Okay.
Yeah, the games came first. All right, and it's like I would say that a lot of like the writing that makes the game special is absent from the anime sort of thing. It's like there's
Okay.
definitely
That's a fair criticism.
yeah.
then.
It's like, it's definitely the writing that kind of kills it.
Mm,
But-
and
Is
they've
the
got kind of
animation
this-
good at least?
Oh yeah, no issues there.
Animation's good.
Yeah, animation's good. You know, there's no problems there. And it's like I love the Ace Attorney games. I don't want to say I don't like the Ace Attorney series, anime series, because
Mm.
it's
I also-
technically bad, but I love Ace Attorney enough that I'll watch the second season.
Hopefully,
whatever.
yeah. Hopefully, the second season is an improvement. Let's say that much.
Yeah.
I also found the audio was quite inconsistent.
What do you mean?
So like they'll be talking perfectly fine, and it's at a normal level. I'm listening to it through my speakers, and then all of a sudden someone's screaming through my speakers, and then it's like, quick, turn it down. And it's just like it wasn't the actual recording that I was listening to. It was just seemed like it was when they've actually made it. They've done kind of inconsistent audio.
Okay.
Yeah, it just and also I've watched Naruto and all that kind of stuff as
Okay.
well. I found it to be I found this to be quite like it was, as you said earlier, it isn't a fair criticism, but I found it to be overdone. Like all of a sudden, it's perfectly normal, as I said about the audio, and then they're making all these frantic gestures and doing all this crazy stuff. That is anime, sure, but I've never seen anything quite that bad.
I mean, I think it kind of plays
Well,
that factor up in the
hold on.
games quite a bit, because like, the game will just randomly shift to like alt caps when someone is talking from being
Yeah. That is
in the
definitely a
game.
thing.
So I think that's like that could be done to try and capture that. Also, I don't
Yeah, true.
find that.
I think
too
that's the
bad.
attempt.
Yeah, I don't find it too bad.
They've failed on it. I think.
As you were mentioning in Naruto, literally just this past week, me and my girlfriend finished up Naruto Shippuden. So it's taken us 2 years to finish both Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. As 1,000
look
episodes
dumb.
worth of stuff.
Whoa, that's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys just like now on to Boruto, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
that
now
is
on to
the
Boruto.
next step.
Yeah, that's like
Boruto? That's his like son.
That's his
Yeah, that's
son,
his
right?
son. Yeah.
it's
Oh.
actually really well received from what I've heard. It's like people
What
really
a-
like it.
Dumb name.
Right? Like that was my reaction. Also, it's like
Don't worry, I'm totally on the same page.
Boruto.
Why even do that? Just
Like at least
whatever.
they have like a funny reason for naming a Naruto in the show or
Yeah.
in the series in general.
So I want to know what it is.
Literally, so one of the main mentors, he was eating ramen one time, and there are these fish cakes in ramen
Mhm.
called Naruto, and
Okay.
he's writing this story about a hero and whatnot, and he doesn't know what to name the character, so he's like, he picks up the fish cake, he's like, oh, Naruto, and writes it down.
Perfect.
perfect.
Yeah. So his pupil, which would be Naruto's dad, reads the book and he's like, oh, this is amazing. I love it. I hope my son grows up to be this hero one day. So I'm going to name it after this hero.
That's weird, but okay.
All right.
That's
That
the
sounds like-
idea behind his name.
That
Okay.
sounds like
Something
something
along that
came
line.
on in a dream.
Yeah, that pretty much.
I'm not even gonna ask about the other one, but
I have no
First.
idea where Boruto's name came from.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, so congratulations, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
that seems
thanks.
like an achievement.
It is an achievement.
do you feel good about yourself after that? No, I didn't think so.
I mean, I'll say, in my opinion, it was worth it. I enjoyed
Okay.
every minute of it.
I've heard that like the final Naruto Sasuke fight is really, really good. And it like
Absolutely
makes it
impressive.
all worth it. Like
It
makes
was
all worth
absolutely impressive.
it. Okay.
It's like over the span of like 1.5 or 2 episodes, but it's amazing.
Isn't it just like a solid just like 40 minutes of just the fight?
Oh yeah,
Whatever
it's
between the two
it's
episodes?
just them fighting and like
Okay.
talking to each other and whatnot. It's really good.
Okay. And then, you know, everyone gets married, has children, and then we're on to Boruto, right?
Yes.
And then, so I don't have this written down, and I'm sorry about it or whatever, but this came to my attention very early this morning, okay? And I was only going to mention this whether or not we had time, and it's like we didn't nearly spend as much time talking about the Ace Attorney thing as I thought we would. So I'm gonna bring this in. And Nerd Awakens actually might have, actually beat me to it. The Studio Trigger, which you might know from Kill la Kill, Little Witch Academia, and most recently, Darling in the Franxx, which finished today.
God damn, I have to finish that.
Yeah, right. Studio Trigger launched a Patreon, and this is not without controversy, for a number of reasons. Okay. So not only is Trigger fairly large in itself, it also has the complete blessings and support from Aniplex, which is probably the largest anime studio by this point, I would say. And
One of the largest, yeah.
is at least one of the largest. And it's like they launched this Patreon allegedly to make up, or it's like what people think is to like help pay the staff a bit better of a wage or whatever. And so it's like to really help them out and support them.
Sleep.
Yeah, but it's like people aren't sure where exactly the money will go because Trigger hasn't said it, and it's just very weird to have like such a large studio as well as, you know, a studio that's obviously backed by an even larger studio to have a Patreon like this. They're also slightly related. There is a Kill la Kill game coming out.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
And it actually looks pretty good.
Yeah. And it's canonical story. Anyway, a new canonical story. Anyway, so what do we think about the whole Trigger Patreon?
I'm indifferent as of the moment.
Okay.
If as soon as they say where the money is going, then I can make a decision. But it's like there's not enough presented for me to, like, do much with that information.
I partially agree with you in the sense of it's like I think it's weird for a studio, especially like Trigger, to have a Patreon. I did see like a much smaller studio doing it.
Yeah.
But it's like for Trigger to have one, it's a little bit weird to me. But if it is like some people have speculated that it is going to pay, you know, like the animators better and whatnot, because that's notorious in the industry is animators being very, very low paid for the amount of work they have to do and the amount of talent that they have. Then it's like,
definitely.
maybe I'll toss like $5 a month their way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anthony, what do you think?
I'm just having a look through their Patreon at the moment. They don't really say what it's for. They're saying that basically it's for different assets that they've had to give up because haven't found them to be profitable.
Okay.
So they're trying to get out of that as far as like they're trying to put more money into them, even though they might think that they're not as profitable as other stuff, but they're trying to keep it like on a consistent basis, I suppose.
Okay.
As Matt said, I'm kind of a bit indifferent. I don't really know. They haven't really explained where the money's going.
Yeah.
I can't really comment on it, unfortunately.
We should also bring up that Trigger has a lot of job openings right now. They're looking to hire a bunch of people at the same time.
So that could be possibly
that could
where
be
it's
maybe
going
to
as
like
well.
recoup some of it, but again, we still don't fully know. Andrew, are you indifferent also, or?
I mean, I'm not the biggest anime guy, but just like, it just kind of comes off as a little odd.
Yeah.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like they don't have a lot of tiers. Obviously, they're just like, hey, throw us $1, throw us $5.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can do more. I assume with Patreon.
Yeah.
I assume they'll
You can
expand
have
upon it
custom
eventually.
amounts. You can have like
Right?
custom
Yeah, yeah.
amounts
You can do
also.
like a $3
You
one.
can do
or a-
tiers and different
Oh,
things.
Yeah.
wow.
Or
Yeah.
10.
I mean, of the 3 shows that I've watched being Kill la Kill, Little Witch Academia, and Darling in the Franxx, I love all of them. Like they're all
Oh,
great.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
animation is some of the best I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Trigger has a very
Darling in the
unique
Franxx
style.
is currently my favorite anime.
What
as
do
of
they-
the moment.
Do they put up their stuff on like Crunchyroll or
Crunchyroll, yeah.
Crunchyroll? Okay, so
Although
they're
Little
probably-
Witch is on Netflix.
That's
Okay.
true.
they're getting paid from there. It's just because like right now they're like around 4,000.
They don't output a lot of anime, to be fair.
Yeah.
They work on single projects at a time.
Are they movies or are they their TV or shit?
They're
series.
TV shows,
Yeah.
but they're short stuff that only go to like 12 or 24 episodes. They do a movie every now and then, like they've done a Little Witch Academia movie.
I'm just curious where like what they expect because their goal was like 1,500 and it's like
They have currently have 3,800. So
yeah, but I'm like, what is this? That's
Is it
not a
like
lot of
an
money.
additional
split
1,500
between
a
a lot
month
of
that they're
people.
asking
Big-
for? Is
I
that-
guess.
Bit of a
Yeah,
question. Do they
They're-
actually do merch or do they not do merch?
Oh yeah, they do
As far
merch. It's like you
Yeah.
can buy like Kill la Kill merch, I'm sure, or like Little
Okay.
Witch at
Like-
Premium merch.
Their current goal that I mean, I don't know how long this has been out.
It's been out about a day,
Okay, so
maybe.
I
less
would
than
give them
that.
some time to expand upon it because I highly doubt they were expecting to get nearly $4,000 a month from the set. They're currently sitting at what, 3,850 or so.
Okay.
So their initial goal was, hey, if we can get to 1,500, then we will do stuff.
What does the
And they've-
studio? Is that all they're asking for? Is like 1,500 a month as a goal?
That's
Yep.
the first
That
goal.
that was
yeah.
their first goal. They obviously they could go past that, but
They don't have
Okay,
any other
that's-
goals at the moment.
yeah,
like,
they
I
don't
don't-
have any as at the moment.
That seems like such a. So it's like 1,500 a month. That compounds to it's like about 18 grand a year. It's like what does? It's like what
That's
does?
not much.
Yeah, it's like.
I
what-
mean,
what
that
does
could buy
this-
new equipment. That could
Yeah, true.
help pay some people. That could go
True.
towards advertising because they don't
Yeah.
advertise their shows very well, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
They just kind of put it out there and see what everybody thinks of it.
Yeah. I guess it's one of those things like Patreon can be such a weird place where even people with money still use Patreon.
Mhm.
And it's like, hey, people are gonna keep paying us. Why not keep it out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels a little odd that a company that's established starting a
Yeah, that's my biggest thing too. It's like
Mhm.
it's just a little bit strange. But
Yeah.
we'll see where it goes, if they are a little bit more transparent with where and like how the money will be used and whatnot. Like if it goes to like pay animators or whatever, then it's like, yeah, sure, I'll toss like $5 a month their way. Or whatever,
Yeah. Huh.
So,
I'm
like-
honestly thinking they're going to try and get more into the merch situation.
okay.
I don't know, because that's what it like when you read the thing. That's kind of what you get the gist of. Like, oh yeah, okay, we're going to try and jump more into merch, so like apparel and all that.
So they're like a relatively they've been around for a bit, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been
a while.
around for a while.
Maybe they're just trying to amp that up a bit more. I don't
Okay.
know.
Seems so odd. Just like, what if like a game studio just decided that hey, we're gonna put out something?
Hey, Naughty Dog, we're wanting.
Well, I don't know if you can compare them to Naughty Dog, but I'm trying to think
Yeah.
of like
yeah.
It's like
a
Bethesda.
comparable.
Fun
Is they're that
Fallout
big? They're,
76. No.
Like
Yeah.
No, they're not that big.
they're like even like an independent studio that you're familiar with. Like I don't know.
They're kind of like
I mean-
Insomniac a bit.
They do
Yeah.
take their
Yes.
times to make well-crafted stuff. I'll give them that. Like they don't just slap a story together
Yeah.
and just
Mhm.
go with it. They
Oh, yeah.
do well-made stuff.
Yeah.
Weird. I don't know.
It
Yeah, it's okay.
maybe just the level of quality they're trying to maintain can't be done with how much they're making right now. So
Sure.
All very fair points.
Oh.
We'll see how this develops. Honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
So
hopefully
speaking
we'll see something within the next episode.
Yeah, hopefully. So speaking of Patreons, COG has a Patreon. Isn't that right, Anthony?
Yes, we do.
Shameless plugs.
That segue though.
That what?
That segue though.
I can't argue with that segue. That was
Yeah.
a smooth segue.
Yeah, just let's go. All right, so Anthony,
Totally.
tell us about the COG Patreon, please.
Well, what I might actually do is bring it up so that I know what I'm talking about.
Alright.
But for those of you who are watching, you've probably seen a couple of plugs going on in the main chat, which I actually toned back a little bit because they were going a bit wild.
Yeah.
But we basically are wanting to like enlarge our site kind of thing and change it and alternate it and get out of kind of the theme that we're in at the moment. So the reason why we're running a Patreon is so then we can kind of get some help doing that. So we're not just here kind of asking you for your money without giving you anything back. We've got quite a few Patreon tiers and whatnot. You can choose to donate once. You can choose to become one of our monthly donators. We've got a couple there so far. That is basically, it's a bit of a strange username, but it's going to be in the description of our podcast when we put it up on YouTube, and it's also on our community Discord and all that. So if you're part of that, go on over and check it out and jump on board our Patreon team if you want to.
All right. And then, as that does wrap up our news block, instead of game sales, part of the new format is games releasing. So, I believe Anthony here has prepared a list of all the games releasing this week. So when
I
we say
certainly
this
do.
week, do we mean like between the 7th and the 14th here? Or,
Yes, or
Okay.
the 8th and the 15th for me.
all right, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So it's basically Sunday to Sunday.
Yeah.
Or Saturday to Saturday, your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, what's up, Matt?
I want to say one thing before we get started, so I don't interrupt you in the middle of it, like our
Yeah.
tradition it usually is.
Yeah.
If chat or anybody watching reach out to us on Discord, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, and tell us ideas you want for Patreon, so like subscription tiered goals. Like if you want to see something happen, okay, we'll see where we could fit it in at different tiers and whatnot, and how things work out reasonably in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could try to keep it flexible and keep it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Definitely.
When we get Patreons, so that'll be
Yeah.
a definite thing we'd like to see.
Well, it's like we'll even start. It's like as much as like we've come up with for whatever for bonuses or whatever. If you guys want to suggest stuff to us, we're open to that, and we'll implement that as soon as we can. Whatever, even with the small
Yeah.
amount of people we got. So if you
Yeah,
guys have ideas
definitely.
for that, definitely hit us up in all the aforementioned places to
Yep.
do that for us. You want to see me dab every 5 minutes if I do $100 a month?
Every
Dear,
5 minutes
what?
on stream, I say it's worth it.
Do
it.
I would do it. I would do it.
Do it.
Yeah, I would do it.
A dab on it.
You better start. No. All right. Anyway, and then really quick, sorry again, I don't mean to prolong before this segment. Now is a prime time to hit us up with any questions you want us to address. In just a few minutes, right after the game's
Yep.
release. Okay. Now is a prime
Speaking
time.
of Prime Time,
Ah,
Hey.
did you guys know about Twitch Prime?
yeah.
Oh,
You're
yeah, that's
part of
right.
Seamless transition.
Shameless plugs.
Yeah, you can now subscribe to Culture of Gaming with a Twitch Prime or with a
Yep.
regular sub.
Or
That's
you can
free to
gift
you.
it to somebody.
Yeah.
You
Twitch
can
Prime is free to you if you're
sub to this channel.
Amazon Prime guy.
Yeah.
You got a little, you got a free sub. You go up in the corner, you click the sub button. It says sub for free with Prime.
Yeah.
And you're supporting us right there. That's all you got to do. Click that button.
Yeah, the month of July is still very young, so if you've not used your Prime sub for the month yet, please consider COG here, so we can bring you more and more content.
Or even if you want to cheer us $1 or whatever, feel
Oh, yeah.
free to.
Twitch bits also.
Oh,
If you want to be number one right now while we're still streaming, it's open.
Yeah, it's open.
You can do it.
when do we get Half-Life 3? Oh, yeah.
But yeah, be sure to drop,
Right
as,
after Left 4 Dead 3.
drop as many questions as
Right
you
after
can.
you support our Patreon, then we'll make it for you. How about that?
Yeah.
No.
It'll come right after Pigeon Simulator.
That's a bad promise.
Right
oh
after.
no.
Right
Don't
after
tempt
Pigeon
me. I might
Simulator.
make a pigeon simulator.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
Never live that joke down.
All right, but yeah. So
Thanos did nothing wrong.
did Thanos do anything wrong? Debatable. But
No.
yeah, make sure you hit us up with those questions in either our community Discord, our Facebook group, on our Twitter, in the Twitch chat, anywhere where we can instantly see comments is a good place. Okay.
I have everything open, so go for it.
Yeah, excellent. So
Okay.
Excellent.
If you want a
Games
good
releasing.
anime to watch,
yeah,
Court in the House.
end of games releasing. Yeah.
New games releasing. So for the July 10th, which is July 10th US time, we have 20XX, which is coming for the PS4 and the Switch,
What's that?
which is a roguelike action. I've got to lean forward because it's quite small text. Which is a roguelike action platformer that you can play with a friend, jump and shoot your way through ever-changing levels, collect awesome new powers, and battle mighty bosses in the name of saving the human race.
Excellent.
So that's coming on July 10th. Also on July 10th is Another World, which is coming to the Nintendo Switch. If you don't know what Another World is, it's an action platformer that tells the extraordinary tale of a scientist, Lester Knight, I can't pronounce his last name, who accidentally transported to another world while working on a particle accelerator. Sounds like The Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also on July 10th is MXGP Pro, which is coming to the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Shining Residence Reframe is also coming on July 10th, which is for the PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch.
Tuesday is a big release day for stuff.
Hey, what?
Tuesday is a big release day for stuff in general. Yeah.
Exactly. Which is you play as Yuma Livin, if that's exactly what it's called. So you fight to stop the Empire from exploding. The power of ancient dragons, including the soul of the Shining Dragon with you. That doesn't make sense. With the help of you and your friends, realize your destiny, save Astoria, and unleash the strength you've always had locked away.
Neat.
For July 11th, which is Wednesday, YS Memories of Calcutta is coming to PC. So if you don't know what that is, it's going to enlarge text. World famous red-haired adventurer Ado Christian awakens in the unfamiliar land of Calcutta, which is
That's a
remembering
name.
Calcutta. Yeah, remembering nothing more than his own name. Join Adon as his new friends and he embarks on a grand adventure. Also on July 11th is Warhammer Vermintide 2, which is coming to Xbox One. July 13th, Hotel Transylvania 3 is coming to the PS4, Xbox One.
Wait, there's a game?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
game.
No.
Hotel
way.
Transylvania 3
I need
Monsters
this in my
Overlord.
life. I need this in my life. Okay.
Oh no way.
It's coming to everything. PS4,
Excellent.
Why
Xbox
though?
Is
PC.
Why?
it?
Why? Good question. I don't know. Octopath Traveler is also coming to Switch on July 13th.
Yes, I'm so
I hear
excited
someone
for that
saying yes.
game. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Sorry.
I have
So-
no idea what that game is about.
JRPG.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Earthfall is coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One, also on July 13th, which is Earthfall is a cooperative shooter for up to 4 players using team-based tactics to fortify hideouts and complete objectives. Players must work together to survive. And the last game coming on July 13th as well is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for the Switch and the 3DS.
That looks so cool. Also.
It does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Toad gets his own game before Waluigi.
Also, for those of you who say that 3D platformers are out, that's a good 3D platformer.
Not a platformer.
Nope.
Oh.
Not a platformer? Wait, what?
You actually cannot jump in that game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I thought it was
not
still
actually a
technically
platformer.
classified.
it's like a puzzle box.
Three.
Is a good way to put it, because you're like kind of in a diorama and you have to like go around and
3D
like-
puzzle.
It's
game.
like
Ah,
Galaxy
okay.
almost. It's kind of like Mario Galaxy in the sense that
Mhm.
the
Cool.
levels are. Yeah.
you gotta wall around as Toad and find the treasure.
But
Yay.
yeah. So it's like out of those games releasing, I'm personally super duper looking forward to Octopath Traveler.
That's the only like new game kind of,
Yeah.
right? Like,
That's like
everything else was kind of a re-release right now.
yeah, or like a spin-off to some degree.
Yeah, like
so
another
Anthony,
world.
you excited for any game of that list or no?
I'm excited for. What do we got? Warhammer Vermintide 2. It's already out on PC, but I really want
Yeah.
to pick it up.
Yes.
It is coming to Xbox One, but I really do want to get it. And Hotel Transylvania, of course.
Of course. Yeah. Andrew, you
course.
excited for Vermintide also?
I had that on PC.
Oh, how's it been?
I like it. It's I haven't played too much of it. I wish I dived more into it.
Mhm.
I'm a little afraid right now that because I got it during a Steam sale and it was like $20, pretty good deal. I'm a little afraid that I'm going to dive in and I'm going to get put with people who know what they're doing and I don't, and just mess everything up. So it's a little bit of like kind of like but you can play with bots. So I'll probably do that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
Always
do
practice a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm kind of curious to fiddle around with the characters and see which one I like the best. I've only played with like one character, like I think Witch Hunter, I think.
Okay.
But,
All right.
So I do want to mess with that game more.
All right. Matt, are you excited for any game in that list or not?
Hotel Transylvania.
All right. Excellent.
Honestly,
Excellent.
I don't plan on getting any of them as of the moment. If the closest one I would get, which I'd still have to get a Switch for, it would be Octopath Traveler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I hear it's supposed to be a good game, but I know
Yeah.
jack about it.
It's gotten the review embargo lifted. Oh, maybe a day or so ago, maybe 2 days.
Did it come out yet? Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the embargo lifted, and it got a 9 so far. It's gotten like
Whoa.
a consistent 9 from a site that's already put up their review of it. Although,
Cool.
take that with a slight grain of salt. That site is pretty liberal with its scoring. It's like they score things on average like a point or two higher. But we'll see. But not always. It's really like reviewer dependent for that site and whatnot. So it really depends. So we'll see what the other outlets say. And
We'll have to see what Culture of Gaming says.
I'm not sure. Are we? Did we get a code for that?
We didn't get a code for it, unfortunately.
Oh,
Damn.
okay.
There is a demo out for that game.
Oh,
You
okay.
can play the first 3 hours of that game free,
Ooh.
and
That's a lot.
all your progress carries over.
All right.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's
Nice.
sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So if
Nintendo
you-
eShop, right?
Yeah, so if you're thinking about getting it, look forward, get the demo first. See if you like it. I don't know. I actually haven't downloaded the demo. I haven't played it. Maybe I'll do that because I don't really like JRPGs. So that'd be a good, interesting way for me to see if I You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
But do that, and if you like it, you can buy it
All
right
right.
there.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. So that wraps it up for the games releasing. Have we found any community discussion questions for us or whatever?
We do have a couple.
All right.
So wait, where is it? There it is. From John, which has been on the podcast a couple of times.
Yeah.
What feature would you like to see implemented in a new cycle of consoles?
I think we answered that last week, didn't we? That's
We did.
right. June
Did
28th?
we?
Yeah. Sure.
Right.
No. Oh, we'll answer it again.
Okay.
Matt, you haven't answered it. What do
Yeah.
you want to see? Silence.
I'm trying to think of like a feature that's not already there.
Right?
Like everything that I want is there.
Anything you want, really?
Yeah,
Everything.
like all I need from a system is to play games. I don't need anything super fancy.
True.
Okay, I guess I would like Netflix and Hulu because I still use a Wii for that.
True.
Wait, aren't most of them on there? Wait,
Well,
wait.
that-
Yeah. So
Well,
it's
Like
like, so
there's
that-
nothing I really need or
okay.
want that's like not already implemented.
So Matt's answer is that he's perfectly satisfied.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Wow.
Perfectly satisfied. Excellent. Any other questions?
Well, there's been a bit of a rumor. Well, not rumor, but a couple of people wanting this to happen flying
Alright.
around. Who would be interested in seeing a Minecraft server put up for us for Culture of Gaming? If anyone would be interested in
PCML.
PCML. If anyone would be interested in seeing that, then let us know. It's just not really a community question, but it's something that if you guys want to see it, then we'll be more than happy to get one.
I mean it's a wave that allows us to connect to them. So
Yeah. Exactly.
Does it have to be
Why not?
Minecraft?
I mean it's the easiest game to.
Minecraft.
Don't worry,
mean,
Taylor, I'm out as well.
You can stop being a pussy about it.
Ooh.
I would much rather start like a WoW guild or something.
Yeah, that's
Ah,
not
for
gonna happen.
COG. I'd much rather start like
Not
an
gonna
Eve Corp
happen.
for COG. I'd much
That's
rather run like a
not-
Battlefield
You're
server or an Arma server for COG.
I mean, like the thing is, like Minecraft's super accessible and whatnot.
It's on every console. It's cross-play.
Yeah.
It's on PlayStation, isn't it?
What's that?
Oh, what?
Minecraft. It's-
I don't know if you can do
I don't
custom
think
servers
so.
on
No, I
those,
don't think
but-
so.
You might be able. I've
I'm
never
not sure.
tested, but you probably could connect to servers as long as they were vanilla.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't know.
maybe.
We'll maybe consider. Okay, that brings
We'll-
up like an
we'll
even
look
fairly
into
larger
it.
idea. We'll look into having a community server for a game, which may or may not be Minecraft. But you know what? That'd be a good Patreon bonus.
It would be.
Good idea.
Yeah.
But
So
I'll
5
tell you one thing: it's
We s-
Blinking Well won't be Eve.
Okay.
The RuneScape guild. I love it.
No, it's like
I was
we
gonna
set
say what DayZ or something. That's what the kids play. Rust.
I was
Oh,
about
yeah.
to say, let's do Rust.
Can we host a Fortnite server? No. Okay.
No.
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 For
It's like, you know
sure.
what? It's like $5 a month on Patreon. That gives you access to the COG community servers. So Arma, let's just say like Arma, Gmod, CS. I don't know. Yeah. All right.
Ooh,
Why?
I should buy CS:GO.
No.
I should get CS:GO.
Are you a fan of first-person shooters?
No. Dude.
Yeah, I have like CS Source on my Steam thing. I'm like,
Okay.
all right.
All
I
right.
remember playing some old FY Ice on there.
Yeah.
If you want a salt farm, CS:GO.
Yeah. CS.
Angry Birds.
Wait, well, I need to stop everybody. Do you just have packets of salt laying on your desk?
Yeah,
it is.
I typically carry around salt packets with me, so if I ever need to salt something, I have it.
No, he salts food more than anyone else does. Okay, like seriously.
Like I'll
Salt
bring.
cereal.
No, like
This
it's
is not like, a, it's
reasonable
not like a
things.
joke you do to people.
No.
Like,
No, he's seriously
It's
into
like,
it.
No,
Oh,
I'm
that-
completely
that-
serious. Like, if I am in a movie theater, I don't want to go out to get more salt for my popcorn. I'll just whip out a fucking packet of salt and just salt my
Why
popcorn.
don't you just like, it's on the way in, right?
So-
They have the salt packets on the way into the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
that's where I get them from.
I know that, but it's
Your
just like
pocket? Oh no, you steal them. So you're stealing
You're
from
stealing.
the
No,
movie
because they're
theater.
there for free.
So it's like legit when him and I lived together and whatnot, I would cook like an Asian meal, or it's like I would cook like an Asian themed meal or whatever, right? So lots of soy sauce, right? Soy has plenty of sodium, like plenty of a salty thing in it.
You could harvest it from my veins.
Yeah, he and his girlfriend would put even more salt on the already like mildly salty Asian meal.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, like yeah, they are, and it's like that is a trend.
Salt.
That it's like that is a trend from living with them. I will say that it's like I find myself putting a lot of salt on stuff.
That's just what my family does in general, to be
Okay.
fair. That's where I
Stealing.
picked it up from.
Okay.
No. Salted.
FBI. It's like average.
Yeah, you even steal from Wendy's also. It's not just movie theaters.
Wendy's has great salt.
Huh?
Wendy's has great salt.
Isn't it all the same? What is happening?
Yeah, it's like the little iodized salt packets are the same.
Okay.
No, actually, Wendy's has sea salt.
Oh,
Is
did
this
it
a
really?
food podcast
Yeah.
or?
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Salt podcast. He's just like
Salt
opening the bags and testing them in the restaurant and stuff.
That's some good
Jeez.
stuff. No, like
Jeepers.
All right, so we gotta move right into our like gaming free discussion. Does anyone have a
Dude, that lasts
topic?
me a day.
Does
I'd
anyone
IV
have
that
a
IV drip right in my
topic
vein.
they would like to bring up for the gaming free discussion? Anyone want to bring something to the table or?
Patreon food cog.
Oh, God, food. Okay.
What?
COG food podcast for Patreon.
You know what? That's actually not a half bad idea. I can do like it's like do like gaming recipes or whatever.
Culture of food.
Culture of food, yes.
No, well, it's like how like games have like
Food
tons
of gaming.
Yeah, it's like tons of
Food
food in them
gaming.
or whatever. Like WoW has like plenty of like cooked meals or whatever. Like replicate like the
Oh.
food you might see in WoW.
Final
That-
Fantasy.
That might-
There was a
Yeah.
really cool website I used to see. I don't know if it's still active, but there was like the Drunken Moogle. And that was like a cool
I
drink.
know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah,
It's really
yeah.
cool.
It was a really cool drink recipe site, and he would do or she would do a bunch of like cool stuff from game.
Okay.
That's like binging with Babish. He does all
Oh,
like
yeah.
gaming food stuff and
Cool.
Anyway, so let's try to reel this back in. Gaming free discussion topic. Anyone have something to bring to the table?
I got a Steam Link.
Cooking with Matt. Oh
Oh
no.
no. Okay, Andrew.
Oh.
Andrew.
Oh, Andrew.
Yes.
Andrew.
I got a Steam Link. It's
Let's talk about
How is
that.
it?
It was
Come
like
on.
$250. It finally came
It
in.
will be the next top chef.
Yeah. So.
yeah, it was $250, and then it was like $8 for shipping, so it was like whatever, $10,
Yeah.
$11.
$2.50. What?
Yeah. It was on the Steam
it's-
sales.
why
95%
not
off.
at that point? Like, I should have just bought two. I should have just bought two.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Like I hooked it up,
Yeah.
and I haven't played with it too much. But
Okay.
it's cool that it gets like your whole library. The interface is a little janky. It almost looks a little like bootlegish, almost. Like
Yeah.
it's
Not
just,
surprised.
it looks just enough like it's a thing that I'm like, okay, this works fine.
Yeah.
And then it lets you know if there's controller support, which is nice. So you're like,
Mhm.
oh, this game already has controller support built in. I don't have to do anything weird to like set it up.
Fake land.
So that yeah.
That feels really bad.
Ost fake, yeah.
But
Okay.
as someone who uses the PS4 controller,
Yeah.
everything is like Xbox controller. Whereas so it's like, hey, press do the Xbox corresponding thing. Whereas like when I hook up to my PC, it already knows PS4
Yeah.
controller. So there's obviously some stuff that it's behind on,
Mhm.
but I can't complain too much because I'm only going to use it for like I think a handful of games like Cuphead or like something that I can just like stream out there and not worry about too much.
Okay.
Yeah, because obviously like precision with the keyboard is going to be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to mess with it more and
Okay.
see. Someone in the chat said something about Cody or however you pronounce that.
And emulators. Okay.
So I may or may not look into that depending on who's listening. But so yeah, that was fun. Oh, thank you guys. Okay, I appreciate that.
I mean,
Alright.
if you could get emulators going on it, it'd be pretty good for the Retro Rumble.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a as much as I have one of those Retron 5, which basically lets you plug in like every
Like 7 different systems, yeah.
Yeah.
and it's all HDMI. You just got to have the actual cartridge, which I don't mind having. I don't mind having cartridges lying around.
Okay.
So I just found actually in my parents' house. I found The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, like for my GBA.
Oh, God.
or no, Game Boy Color, and I'm like, what is this thing? I want to plug it in and look at it. Why do I own this thing?
Oh no.
So, and I found a Final Fight
Can
game.
it run Crisis?
No, the Steam Link cannot run Crisis by itself.
Maybe.
Well, Crisis
Wait.
isn't even a Steam game.
I was gonna ask that. Can
Yeah.
you?
Crisis
Crisis
is a demo.
Yeah, Crisis is a tech demo too real here.
Mm.
All right, so
Crisis is a glorified tech demo.
yeah, Steam Link, cool.
Yeah, I'm interested to see this thing, but we'll see.
Okay, all right, Matt, anything you want to bring to the table?
Nope.
All right, Anthony, anything you want to bring to the table?
Nope, I don't believe so.
All right. I was
Taylor,
only...
anything you want to bring to the
No,
table?
I was only gonna say something if no one else had something. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up. The last thing we have to talk about is the giveaway.
Giveaway.
Yeah.
Yay. So as
Last chance if you want to ask a question to
Yeah,
enter the
come on.
giveaway. Give us a question.
Yeah.
give us a question.
And that's the
we'll
winner at
answer
the end of the month.
Wow, it's kind of like start of the month, but anyway.
Yeah.
We missed it last week because we had some tech issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Rip.
if you want to win a copy of Ori and the Blind Forest, then for Xbox One, then ask a question.
Yeah. Anyway.
Where can I
Now, why
ask
are you
that
so
question?
And
In
only
Twitch chat.
Go listen to the
Ask it
first
in
5 minutes of the
Twitch chat.
podcast, and then you'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask in Twitch chat. All right. So
Taylor, let's talk about your thing while we wait for people to ask questions
what's my thing?
that you had to bring to the fake.
Our,
I don't
wait,
know
what?
what I'm
Wait, what?
You had a topic of discussion in our free discussion time, which you thought was you were going to ask.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, chat.
Huh? What? Can I borrow $5? Can I win the giveaway? Can I borrow $5?
Can I win the giveaway?
Thank you, chat. All right. No.
Can you win the giveaway? Maybe.
Maybe.
Can you meet me
Maybe.
in real life later?
Later.
Am I-
I'll see you
why
later,
am I so
fam.
cool?
I don't think he's cool.
I'm not.
Yeah, it's like I don't think any of us are. Well, no, we're all cool in our own special way. What? Who am I kidding?
Can I borrow $5?
Nah.
No. All right. No, I wanna bring this up. So, what is like your dream venue for an esports event?
Ooh.
Like,
Like,
what
if
do you mean?
could choose
Like,
to have an esports event, any venue, any stadium in the world type thing, where would you want it to be, and what would it be for? I would love to see either a Counter-Strike or like StarCraft event somewhere in Phoenix, literally anywhere in Phoenix. Yeah. The closest we get is California.
I mean, realistically, I mean the same thing as CS:GO tournament in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like the biggest dream, CS:GO major hosted in the Coliseum in Rome.
Oh yeah, that'd be insane.
I would lose my mind.
And that's,
Idea.
okay. All
That
right.
would be epic.
Andrew, where'd you like
dear
to see like a CEVO event or whatever?
Well, Evo does the thing in Las Vegas, which I really enjoy. I'm going actually this year, so
Okay.
it'll be a good time to watch that stuff. And
Is that around this month? Like the middle of
Eve is it's the beginning of August, so August
Okay.
3rd
Okay.
through the 5th is Evo. Right now, last weekend was CEO, which is a big fighting game, like kind of like the second biggest fighting game tournament, probably CEO,
Okay.
which is run by Drew Bailey. If you're familiar with it, all that stuff, he's
Yeah.
a real person. He's a real person. So yeah, and then right now there's actually one right next door to me, and there's a fighting game tournament going on, which I might run over to after this is over if I have
Ooh.
time.
Oh, okay.
Try and catch some top 8, but
Oh.
I don't know if I'm do that.
All right. Cool. Anthony.
Dear me, it'd be cool to see. Like, it'd be cool to see one on the Gold Coast, like
yeah.
in the Metric Stadium or whatever. I mean, the whole Rome idea would be pretty darn awesome as well.
I mean, I think that would be epic.
That would be like the best.
Like, just imagine like a Smash tournament host there.
Yes,
Oh my god!
yeah.
Like,
that'd
that'd
be
be cool.
great.
Yeah.
Just imagine how many people you could cram into that stadium.
I think Matt
Alright.
wins with this one. Mine's kind of a meme. I was gonna say
Let's
it's
see.
like I want to see a StarCraft
On
tournament
Mars.
done on the DMZ between North and South Korea.
Oh god.
Yeah, mine's kind of a meme. So
No, like Super Smash Brothers between Kim Jong Un and whatever the guy's name is.
Whoever wins takes the land.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Great war that is.
All right.
This is how they settled the war.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, Matt wins on that
1v1's
one. I'd
Smash.
say.
Final destination.
All right. So, do we have a winner for the giveaway for June?
Yes, we do, because no one asked questions.
Yeah.
The winner.
People ask questions.
I mean, they're entered for this month though. That's the thing.
Oh, that's
True,
fair.
true.
Yeah, this is the winner for June.
Yeah. So for this month, he's been on the podcast a couple of times.
Is it Aiden?
No,
Damn.
it's going to be John Thornburg. Thornburg?
Yep.
Thornburg. Yes,
Yep.
it is Thornburg.
I have no idea.
All right, cool. What do you want?
He won a copy of Are in the Blind Forest for the Xbox One.
Is
so
that a price for this
congratulations.
month also?
Yay.
Hey, what?
Is that a price for this month also, or what's our price for this month?
No, price for this month is going to be different, which
Oh,
is going to
okay.
be done at the end of the month. So
Oh,
we're
cool.
talking about
Oh, it's a mystery. I see.
the mystery. Yeah,
All right.
mystery.
Very good.
Uh,
Yeah. So.
yeah. That's about it.
All right. So congratulations to John.
Yay.
Yay.
Good job.
Need to like a little confetti light scene to play right now or something. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be cool. All right. So, Andrew, where can we find you?
You can find me Twitter, Instagram, all those fun places. That's Duronsky, Duronski.
All right.
Find me on YouTube. Watch my shows. They're
Yep.
fun, I promise.
You do the White Whaling Contra series.
Yes,
It's a ton
new
of fun to
episode
watch.
Should be
Ton of
soon. Yes, you got an episode in the can. I was just kind of been busy this week traveling and such, so I didn't get it when I wanted to. But
Yeah.
should be
Cool.
Monday at noon. It should be up.
All right, cool. Matt, anywhere on social media we can find you, or no? Are you recluse?
Plus, place you can find is here on Twitch when I stream every now and then.
Cool. All right, Anthony. Your
Not
personal stuff.
personally.
Yeah.
No, not personally. I don't really have anything as far as social medias or whatnot.
Okay.
We do like a weekly Torchlight playthrough on YouTube, so if you want to go out and check that out. I'm also streaming some Battlefront 2, which is the old Battlefront 2.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to
The
get through the
quality one.
campaign on that. The quality one, exactly. I'm trying to get through the campaign on that, so if you want to leave us a comment or leave us a like or whatever, please do so. Join our community, all that fun stuff as well.
Yeah.
Taylor, what about you?
I have a Twitter. I'm not really on it, even though I did kind of revamp it to better suit the site earlier in the year. Although I have no idea what the handle is. I think I changed the handle at some point. I forget. I'll have to look. It's been. It's
Well, you
been a
made
while.
it appropriate or something, did you? Or...
No, it's like it was just inconsistent with the spelling and my screen name and everything. Anyway, so
Okay, cool.
yeah, I'll bring it to you guys next week. I'll try to get more active on it. Anyway, that wraps up episode. What was this? 27?
27.
Yeah, that wraps
Yep.
episode 27. Join us next week, same time, same place. Oh, okay. Nerd Awakens knows my Twitter handle in the chat. It's at Infurious Elicon. Thank you very much.
Called out.
Yeah, I got
Ah.
called out. Thank you very much for that one. So yeah, please join us next week. We'll be same time, same place. Thank you all for tuning in.